Former Terrapin great Adrian Branch with you. And AB, Maryland lost a lot of production from last year's Sweet 16 team, but surprisingly, it's the freshman class which has picked up the slack.
Yeah, all of them bring something different to the table. You look at Cowan, he's arguably the fastest guy in the conference. Already Herder has a game-winning block shot defensively against Georgetown. And Justin Jackson, 7'3" arm span.
Well, the freshman starters, Cowan, Jackson, Herder, averaging 29 points, 16 boards, 6 assists per game. Not a great drop-off from last year. And Jacksonville State, Ray Harper's team, he's tinkering with the lineup a little bit tonight. A walk-on freshman, Tyreek Edwards, will start at the point. Maryland in their gold uniforms tonight, road black for the Gamecocks. Our officials, Tom Eads, John Gaffney, Courtney Green, were underway. And the opening tip controlled by the Terrapins. First team in the Big Ten to 10 wins this season. Getting votes for the top 25, and that's how you start. Tchaikovsky with the slam dunk to get it going.
Well, Giga's going to have to defend and be stingy. He's a 7-footer with the basketball, very fluent offensively, but defensively he's got to be a rim protector.
Michael Tchaikovsky, the 7'1" junior from Slovakia, showing signs he's ready to break out this year, gets the scoring going.
It's be a good matchup. He can score over the shoulder. Right there on the left block, 80% field goal percentage.
Now Giga put it up off the board. Cross with the stick back to tie it at 2. And Jacksonville State, they want this to be a half-court game as much as possible tonight.
For Maryland, they're just coming off a slow tempo in St. Peter's that made the adjustment in the second half. So you've got to sit down defensively and not try to cut corners and bail them out.
The Tchaikovsky miss. Here comes Jacksonville State again. 15 of their first 16 this year on the road. They're used to playing away from the state of Alabama. Empty possession for the Gamecocks. Maryland beat St. Peter's on Saturday, opened with a 14-0 run. Great first half, lousy second half. Turgeon looking for a complete game tonight as Tchaikovsky gets his second basket.
Justin Jackson just passed up a shot. As a freshman, they're learning on the job. He passed up a 3-point shot. Coach Turgeon said they want to pass up a good shot for a great shot, dumping it in the post.
Sometimes settling for too many threes is what he's been saying.
Yeah, last game they had 18 in the first half. He doesn't want that again. This is where Jacksonville State is at their best, when they'll move the ball 3 and 4 times, get themselves an open look. They're very good offensively with their discipline.
Eric Durham misses the 3. They got another look from Drumright. Drumright got his own miss. He'll kick it back on the perimeter.
Look at that ball movement, and then the low post right here in the scoring area.
Nice spin and finish for Jakara Cross, the 6'8" freshman out of Lithonia, Georgia. He's got 4 early ones.
Coach Harper said, we're giving him his shot. He's worked hard. This is his first start, and he can score on the block.
And now a foul with 17:36 to go here in the first half.
Sitting right here, 2 feet near the paint, and then 1-2 dribbles, reverse pivot, coming off of assist, and then starting the game with the alley-oop. You throw it to Checo, the big 7'1", in the goal that we started years ago. He's going to finish.
Oh, you're taking credit for the gold look.
No question. Way back in the 80s, before cell phones. Lefty Drizel, the legend.
Before a lot of things. And another bump inside as L.G. Gill, the 6'8" transfer from Duquesne, was fouled.
Now let's keep an eye on Jacksonville State. They are one of the most traveled teams in college basketball.
As you look at Mark Turgeon, and he did some reminiscing today, you got to believe. He remembers his first head coaching job, which was at Jacksonville State back in 1998. Spent 2 years in Alabama before taking the job at Wichita State. And his counterpart tonight, Ray Harper, in his first year at Jacksonville State. Took Western Kentucky to a couple of NCAA tournaments in 5 years.
Talking about 2 successful coaches. Ray Harper, who's already won Division II national championships, been in 19 Final Four championship games. He's got a lot of experience. Both coaches outstanding. Controlling the tempo, you won't see that's a travel. Controlling the tempo, you won't see Jacksonville State take quick shots.
All right, AB, how do you see it?
Well, it's a very simple formula where you want to control the tempo. So if on the road, you don't want turnovers to lead to long rebounds. And then for Maryland, they hadn't been shooting the three-point shot well. They want to start their offense by good defense. Very simple formulas for both teams.
Melo Trimble gets it outside to Anthony Cowan. And posting up here is Tchaikovsky backing in on cross. Went right around him, got his own miss. And now he leans in. Is that going to be an offensive foul? Yes. Michael Tchaikovsky called for the foul. That's his first.
Cross beat him to the spot. Good footwork. Now, Maryland passed up three-point shots, and that's a good block shot coming from the help side, but then beating them to the spot. Good job by Cross, moving his feet. You want to see competing, active hands, active feet. They're smaller front line, so they have to collapse to the ball.
2-point lead for Maryland. Jacksonville State coming off an 88-83 overtime loss at Louisiana Monroe on Saturday. 5-5 on the year. Spinning in the post and finishing is Jakara Cross. What a great start for the freshman. He's got all 6 of the Gamecocks' points.
How about this young man coming out on fire, looking like the next possession they're going to have to double team him, catching it deep in the post where he only has to take one dribble and rise up.
There's Trimble. We'll see if Maryland can get him going. Playing very carefree, says Mark Turgeon. Very at ease with himself this year.
Bender's got to catch that. Bender's got to catch that one and power back up. 6'9", 240 pounds. You don't want to throw a lollipop up at the basket.
Chance for Jacksonville State to take the lead. This is Drumright. Outside Cross. He hits that 3, too.
You talk about a team that's been on the road. Their first 9 out of 10 games have been on the road, so they are road tested. Then they play Howard University right down the street from Maryland in 2 days. They won't be intimidated by the moment.
Working it inside to Yvonne Bender, the first points for the sophomore out of Bosnia.
Clay, a lot of people have not seen the Terps. Right now, their offense is a work in progress because they've yet to shoot a three-pointer, and you can see them thinking about passing up that shot. So right now, their offense is a work in progress where you're trying to get it clicking.
31% coming into the night from 3 is Maryland. Nice hook shot. And Christian Cunningham has the first points for Jacksonville State from someone other than Cross. They've made their last 4 field goal attempts. And the Gamecocks lead it 11-8, 14:40 to go here first half.
See, that's a hesitation at the three-point line, trying to play inside out. They're getting what they want, but now for Maryland and Coach Turgeon, you want to stomp your feet and make a statement early on the defensive end. They're giving up too many shots.
That play right there, Cowan to Bender, that's the play that Mark Turgeon wants to see more of.
Yeah, because Cowan was averaging 5 three-pointers a game in his early career. He only wants to take 1 or 2 right now.
Leaders 1 for the Gamecocks. Inside the three-point line, Drumright drew the front iron. Herter sails in for the rebound. Kevin Herter coming off 14 against St. Peter's on Saturday. I know you like him.
Plays a little bit, he loses himself in the competition. If you need a rebound, he'll go get it. He's a three-point shooter, and really Coach Turgeon recruited him as a 6'3" guard. He grew to a 6'7" forward now.
Now a little running jump shot for Melo Trimble. He averages 17. This is his team this year.
Absolutely. He's the All-American candidate. He has a lot of responsibility on him by himself. Remember last year there were high expectations, so he's enjoying these guys. Coach Turgeon says he really likes his teammates.
Wooden Award candidate, Melo Trimble. That's the Terrapins, the lead back.
Better defense. This is where you have to sit down and not bail out the visiting team by giving them a cheap shot.
Another 3 on the way, and it goes down.
Whoa. How about this young man?
Malcolm Drumright, a 45% three-point shooter. The three-point shooting is the strength, really, for Jacksonville State when they're playing right. They're at 42% coming into the game.
Well, they shoot 48% from the field. Again, these guys are a team that has experience. They only won 8 games last year. They've already won 5. So this is a work in progress, but they're coachable, and they're coming out to compete.
Here's Herter. He can hit the three. But a whistle, no shot. Foul underneath. And we got a timeout on the floor with 12:41 to go here in the first half. Melo Tremble getting his first points. He averages 17. But Jacksonville State, they're not intimidated on the road, leading by a deuce.
Challenge from the zone. So with Coach Turgeon, he talked about following a legend, all-time winningest coach when he was out there. And now with Gary Williams, he has followed two coaching legends, and now he says, this is my program.
He had a pretty good staff there, too. Tad Boyle was his top assistant, now the head coach of Colorado.
His son Will was born there. He still has friends out there.
Good shooting start for both clubs, both shooting 55% to start the game. Hook shot doesn't go down for Justin Jackson. Jackson without any points to start the game, AB, but you get the feeling that once he gets lathered up, he's going to be just fine. He's a very versatile freshman out of Canada who's been good to start the year.
Yeah, and both teams have played a lot of games. This is the Terps' 9th game in 23 days. And then you talk about Jacksonville State. They have played so many games, most of them, all of them on the road.
There's a foul inside that's going to go against Maryland. And it's on Yvonne Bender, his first. We get another quick break. We step aside. 2-point lead for the Gamecocks.
Not everyone speaks Sriracha.
Sriracha.
But Wendy's is fluent. They know when a true fan.
And when you're able to make shots, they're an outstanding three-point shooting team, which is a neutralizer for the size that they don't have.
There's 15 of their first 16 on the road.
They're saying Murray State, look out. They're opening OVC game. And you know what their goal is? To make the tournament. Since they've been in this conference, the OVC, they've only made it 4 times. And that's their goal, to make it to the OVC tournament, because they only take 8 teams.
The OVC tournament in Nashville, yeah, if they can be there, that'd be a real feather in the cap for Ray Harper and his staff in year 1. Norbertus Giga gets on the board, a 7-footer from Lithuania. It's 15-12 Jacksonville State. Contact as Trimble drives to the 10.
Coach Turgeon talked about that he was going to shrink up his lineup some now. He's going to go more like preparing for their opening game against Illinois. But think about this. They have yet to take a 3-point shot. And earlier on in this season, they were bombing away at the 3-point line.
Giga just picked up his second personal foul. It's been an issue for Jacksonville State this year, foul trouble. Well, old Big East rivals square off at the Carrier Dome next Saturday. Georgetown, Syracuse, noon Eastern. Holiday Hoops presented by Zales. It's also Pearl Washington Tribute Night. Of course, Pearl passed from a brain tumor in April at the tender age of 52.
Yeah, my former teammate when I played with the New Jersey Nets, Pearl was a New York legend and a great guy. He was an affable young man.
And they're going to honor him on Saturday. Terrapins within 1. Shot fake. Moving in. And tipping it in. That was Jakar Cross.
Jakar Cross taking advantage of his start. This is his first start. Already he's been impressive with 6 points, a putback, and he's an inside presence. Now the Giga has to sit down.
Cross with 80, averages 4.
Yeah, but he's getting the opportunity, and that's what Coach Harper talks about. He's playing with a chip on your shoulder.
Oh, there's
a charge.
Another offensive foul against the Terrapins. It goes against Trimble. The second offensive foul against the Terps so far.
Well, that was a poor decision by Melo. You've got to kiss that off the glass and not get too far in. Right here, you already got him beat. That's a good call. Kiss it off the glass. Mark Jackson, who played with St. John's, played 18 years in the NBA, was one of the best I ever saw. He wasn't a leaper. He wasn't going to dunk on you. But as a point guard, he'd just shoot the teardrop.
On off the steal. Good pass. Wiley got it to Jackson for his first bucket. And now running 3-on-2 the other way. Jacksonville State can't finish. That's not the game they want to get in.
Exactly. That was one of the keys, controlling the tempo. Not turning the basketball over.
Now Brantley will be on the line.
You talk about this young man, Jalen Brantley, that was named after Jalen Rose. And this young man transferred in from Marshall, wasn't comfortable last year, now has come out with his opportunities, and he's won a game for him against Oklahoma State with his ability to score off the bench.
He's starting to shoot it well from three, too. We haven't seen him launch a three yet tonight, but 6 of the last 15 three-point shots have gone down. After 5 games without one, that's going to be key for Maryland.
Clay, a coach's dream is practice like you play. And this young man gets into it. He has earned his minutes. He was not a rotation player for him, but you couldn't keep him off the floor because he practiced so well.
It's going to go back to Maryland. Brantley, 22 years old, very mature. You mentioned him transferring in from Marshall.
Yeah, he and Melo Trimble are the key to this team. They're the leaders of this team. Those are the voices that this young team listens to.
Trimble on the bench right now with 2 points.
Cowan passed up a three-point shot. I've been watching them this year, and they've been a little tentative right now trying to figure out the win.
Wiley didn't pass on a three, knocks it down. He's a 31% three-point shooter. His minutes have picked up lately.
If he can get it going, that he and Nickens, that would be a breath of fresh air for them because they're going to need that scoring position, that forward that can score from the wing.
Past the halfway point of the first period. Maryland back in front. Cross on the wing. This is Greg Tucker. Excellent catch and shoot guy. Passes it up with 5 seconds to shoot. Cunningham and Drumright. Drumright is fouled.
Coach Harper said this is his best player. And with Tyreek Edwards starting the game, taking pressure off of him, he defends well, he shoots the ball well. A lot like Melo Trimble, he's trying to save his best wing player.
4th team foul on Maryland as Jackson picked up his first. This is Tyreek Edwards, walk-on freshman.
Too easy.
And a traveling call. Jakar Cross, one of the first mistakes he's made tonight.
But if you look at that, he had 2 feet in the paint, 2 feet from the basket, and was going to power up. The advantage was he going up strong. You cannot let him take a power dribble and power up. He'll get Checo in foul trouble.
Aside from that, the freshman has been terrific here in the first half. Maryland by 2, looking for a bigger lead now, driving in high off the window. Brantley couldn't get it to go, but there's Tchaikovsky with the tip-in. Again, it's a 7-0 run.
Yeah, and you look at this, Clay. Brantley coming out. When he comes out, they don't lose leads. They maintain the lead, or he'll put pressure on. So he's a game changer, an energizer. Watch this, inside the paint. Nice move, under control, and then look at the rebounding lane for Checo. No problem.
And Tchaikovsky, his offense is really showing signs that it's going to be there this year. Of course, can't forget about the defense and the rebound. That's what Turgeon wants him to do the most.
Well, he can guard the screen and roll long enough to occupy a guard until he can recover, but he's got good instincts inside the paint.
Oh, Cowan, nice pass to Checo there, and he's hammered.
WWF. Was that a flop?
That was a flop, but there was some contact there, too.
He's got good instincts. 7-1, good footwork in traffic, and then, okay, that was good old-fashioned hack.
I don't think that was a flop. That was a pretty good
I was keeping an eye on the flop, but no, he got his money's worth.
Maryland 7-1 at home this year. Their only loss came against Pitt during the ACC Big Ten Challenge. And this is their final non-conference home game of 2016. 8:38 to go here in the first half. There's Tom Eads.
Veteran crew. It's called a lot of games.
Off the screen, trying to get free, Dion Wiley, and he traveled. That's their 3rd turnover on the Terps.
The good thing about Maryland in this season, they're 10-1. They're the first team to have double-figure wins in the Big Ten. They're a work in progress, but they're still winning games. They're still closing out games, which is good.
And off the steal, there's Jackson, and he's fouled. That's going to be on Tucker, number 1 for him.
Surprisingly, Jacksonville State is turning the basketball over on a trap that they should be able to break because they're small ball. You've got good ball handlers. I'm surprised that they're turning it over, giving away easy possessions.
Maryland in the bonus, so Jackson goes to the line, a 70% foul shooter.
Those long arms, Clay. That's the thing of beauty as a basketball player. And ask me why, because it's close to the basket. Look at those long arms. Thing of beauty.
7'3" wingspan,
Yes.
despite being just 6'7".
Yeah, he and I were about the same height, but he was a full hand, 2 hands longer than my arms.
He's long and athletic. Got them both at the line. It's out of bounds. It's going to stay with Jacksonville State. It's a 9-0 run for Maryland.
Well, they're in the trap zone, so they're right in the corner, right there where they're taking the ball out. That helps Maryland trap you. If you can catch it in the middle of the floor, you do a better job. Right there, you can see the defense. You can break it easier if the ball's in the middle of the floor versus right there on the sideline. Out of bounds, acts like the 6th man.
Here's Tucker, still without a point. He averages double figures.
They will move that ball, use both sides of the floor, use both sides of the shot clock. Got to go now. 4 seconds.
Here's Tucker. He's hit 10 threes in the last 2 games and buries his first.
Well, the shot clock was running down, but this young man is one of the most aggressive players on the team. Bringing him off the bench. You want some pop coming off the bench.
Back to a 3-point difference, 23-20 Maryland.
Watch how you're giving up the 3-point shot. You don't see one black jersey with their foot on the 3-point line.
And a takeaway. But getting it right back as Jackson can't finish at the cup.
Got to guard the 3-point line. Now that the visitors are loosened up, you see that good little sweat. They're feeling relaxed, attached to this game.
And Edwards fouled as we get a timeout with 7:27 to go. Jacksonville State making it interesting tonight.
This holiday
Out about him, and he's made a statement. He said this young man can score on the block. Look where his 2 feet are, inside the paint, skill turning over his shoulders, and now this young man with the knack to be able to score takes a lot of pressure off of those 3-point shooters.
Hasn't missed a shot yet. The rest of the team, though, not quite as good. They're 4 of 12 shooting. He's 4 of 4.
Well, the thing about him is they couldn't play him a lot because he was averaging 1 foul every 40 seconds.
Yeah, he's been foul prone, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Block inside. Here comes Trimble back the other way. Stops, pops, and it rolls down. Mello with 4.
Did you see how he just stopped on a dime on that one? Earlier, he got called for that charging foul. So that's when you want to be able to play downhill, yet under control.
How clutch has he been this year? You think about the game against Georgetown, Oklahoma State, the game-winning layup against Kansas State.
It's open and post. Don't stop there. For his career, they're 26-5 when their games are under 6 points. So he is Mariano Rivera if you're a Yankee fan like myself.
Drum right. Doesn't get that jumper to go. Allen with a 5-point lead looking for more. Trimble thought about the deep 3.
Well, it's interesting. He had been shooting a 3, and both of them right now hesitating. They're probing for offense. It's not instinctive yet because this is a new thing. Only one three-point shot this game.
Trimble bangs home the triple.
Clay, this is what he's done. He looked at film of his freshman year and just noticed that he was shooting a 3-pointer with a lot of arc and playing with caution to the wind. He was going out there without any hesitation.
Backside rebound, Cunningham. Double teamed. Tried to get it to Statham, and it's turned over. Here comes Herter the other way. Wide open is Anthony Cowan. Nice move to free himself, and he hits another 3. Maryland hasn't missed from outside the arc yet. It's a 17-3 run, and the Terps now lead by double digits.
And when you're talking about 3 for 3, knocking down shots, and they're letting it come, the offense is coming. But tell me, Coach Turgeon is not a veteran coach where he said, listen, the key is not the offense, it's starting on the defense. Look at the block shots, which triggers the offense and speeds up the Gamecocks. Stopping on a dime, knocking down that shot. And then when you are All-American candidate, you have another gear, knocking down the 3. He was watching film this week of himself saying, I've got to get clicking again. What have I got to do? And he's shooting it with better arc. And then how about the young man, Cowan, one of the fastest guys in the Big Ten, knocking down a 3-point shot.
The freshman is growing up quickly. taking fewer and better shots now than he was in the first handful of games.
When he first came in, he was averaging 5 3-pointers a game, looking like Golden State Warriors, just bombing away. And coach said, no, you know what? We're going to knock this thing down. We're going to pass up some shots because we're not making them and try to get inside.
You saw the night so far for Trimble.
See if the Gamecocks can move it around. They take their time. We hadn't seen Giga in there. This is the first time he's been in a while.
Eric Durham drew net. Didn't go through the cylinder.
Yeah, he's yet to get going as well. He's their leading scorer. Solid player.
Herter will get it to Trimble. Under 5.5 to go here in the half in the corner.
Tell an unselfish team with the ball movement. Look at that ball movement playing for each other.
And Michael Tchaikovsky, pretty jumper from the free throw line.
What has helped Maryland get a little separation is defensively they're not relying on quick three-point shots.
That's a good side cross. He's in double figures.
Oh, Coach Harper, he knows what he's talking about. He found himself a player with this young man, taking advantage of opportunities. First start, national television, playing against the Maryland Terps, a Power 5 conference team.
Terps 10 of their last 13 shooting during this run. Tchaikovsky, and he draws the contact. Blocking foul against Cross.
Now that's one because Cross is going so well, let him go. They need his presence, even if he's not scoring. This young man is taking advantage of opportunities. His first start, good hands in traffic, going up dunking. You can tell he likes this competition, but he's got to stay away from fouls. That is what has railroaded a lot of minutes in his early career. One foul every 40 seconds, that's a lot of hacking.
He's done a little bit better job so far tonight. That's his second. He and Giga both with 2.
Yeah, but you got to let that one go. A lot of times, think about this, historically, Bill Russell would let Wilt Chamberlain score in the early game going because he needed to save those fouls to the fourth quarter. They need his presence out there, even if he's not scoring, just to make the defense collapse to him when he gets it in the low post.
Cross sits down. Off the miss, there's Herter with some good hustle.
Yeah, he got away with a foul there.
Trimble for 3. Second 3 for Mello.
You can see Coach Harper on the sideline, very animated. That's a good call. He got away with a foul there. The home cooking there.
Lead is 14 for the Terps.
See if Drumright can call his number, or Giga right there. That's his sweet spot. He can score from both shoulders.
Robertus Giga.
Oh,
hey, nice
goodness.
hook shot with the right hand.
He's got a little flavor, guys. You look at this young man. He takes a dribble, gets himself in rhythm. 7-footer with a nice, easy flow to him.
He's got 3 points now. He's got 3 double-doubles on the season, and that's what Ray Harper is expecting from him. Near a double-double every night, if not a double.
He's good enough. He can go 15 and 12. Get his body even stronger.
Shot clock at 5. Cowan kicks. Herter deep 3. That rolls off. And Jacksonville State will get it. Here they come 2-on-1. Giga, good patience, and he's able to finish.
7-footer, runs the floor well with good hands. I said he would be a good matchup for Checo. That's the nickname. Everyone calls him Checo. But Maryland's big center, who's 7'1", both of them are finesse players.
And Giga from Lithuania played at Midland College in Texas last year. Just over 3 minutes to go. There's Checo again, who's bumped. So Tchaikovsky will be back on the line. Harper a little upset moments ago, and here's what happened.
Yeah, that's a good old-fashioned. Remember Jihadi White from Georgetown? That was a Jihadi White move. That was a good old-fashioned hack. And then look at the coach sitting there animated. I know I'm on.
It was last month with a concussion. They're hoping to get him back early in the Big Ten schedule. The veteran 6'11" center, much needed presence inside.
Well, yeah, he's the defense. He's 7 feet, long arms, and he's played in the career 98 games and has 98 blocks. So you're going to get a defensive rim protector. And then on the flip side, you've got Checo right there shooting the free throw, and he's the offense. So when you talk about 14 feet of length right there, hey, look, I met his mom at the last game we called. Mom's sweet little lady's about 5'2". I said, how does that work? He said, that's DeMonte Dodd's mom. I said, how's that work? She said, I get that all the time.
Fed him spinach. He was still in his high chair, perhaps. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Andre Statham turnaround off the heel. And a foul underneath. It's going to go against Maryland. There's DeMonte.
His last
6'11" senior.
Yeah, his last game, 12 points, 8 rebounds. So when you talk about that center position between he and Checo, you can get yourself 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks.
Trimble just picked up his second foul, having a hard time getting it in. Didn't get it in. That's a 5-second call. Good defense by the Terps. His drum right was stifled on the baseline.
Much maligned offense with the Terrapins. They are what they were. Talking about a weak 3-point shooting team. Right now in this game, they only have, that's loosened up now, 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. But they weren't coming down just jacking up shots. They were playing inside out. Look at the ball movement.
Bender out for Cowan, who's shouldered as he took a drive to the lane. It's going to be on Ashton Spears, the first on the freshman guard out of Louisiana.
Coach Turgeon talked about this, the game he wants. This is an excellent 3-point shooting team, a veteran team with an excellent coach. We talk about the resume that Coach Harper has, national championships. Man, I don't care if it's playing jacks, tic-tac-toe. I want to win, man. I want to win.
Trophies are trophies.
Division II.
Well, we got a special edition NBA doubleheader tomorrow night, 8 Eastern. Karl Anthony Towns and the Wolves take on Jimmy Butler and the Bulls at the United Center, and then we'll head to Portland for Thunder Trailblazers. Coverage tips with the NBA Countdown, charged by Mountain Dew at 7.
Damian Lillard going against Westbrook. Point guard deluxe.
13-point lead, Maryland. 2:20 to go, first half. Maryland trying to stretch its start to 11-1. 3-ball goes down. Eric Durham with his first points.
Yeah, and he's got to stay attached to this game. This young man, 6'4", but can rebound above the rim. Very good basketball player with him inside the floor of the offense.
Third offensive foul. First on Cowan.
5 p.m. Wyoming returns for the Terrapins.
Coach Turgeon, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Look like a fullback there.
Wide receiver.
Okay.
Wide receiver. Coach Turgeon has trusted this young man with the car keys and taking pressure off of Melo Trimble, and he's responded.
Averages 4 assists per game. That's the team high. He's got 3 already tonight.
Well, we had a graphic up. I don't know if we can show that graphic again with the freshman trio. They're averaging 28 points. It's outstanding for what they lost early. They've done an excellent job of defining themselves in this early season.
Cowan, Jackson, Herter, 29 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists per game.
Yeah, that's big time.
On average. That's pretty good. Skip pass to the corner. Penetrating is Wiley. Another foul on Maryland. That's the 4th offensive foul here in the first half.
Well, with a smaller team, you want to dribble into the double team. Right there, you got that. That's a good call. Again, because they're not a shot-blocking team and they're a smaller team, they've got to protect the paint. And right now, it's pretty good. 14 to 18 points in the paint.
Well, Jacksonville State can keep this AB to single digits at half. That'd be a feather in their cap.
They have knockout power in the form of their ability to make shots, especially this young man Durham with the basketball.
There's another turnover. That doesn't help their cause. Already 10 turnovers for the Gamecocks.
Maryland sped them up a lot of times with the turnovers in the corner.
Coming up at the half with Brendan. Talk about Maryland's first 20 minutes and Ohio State's road to the college football playoff.
Talk about all these freshmen. I remember my freshman year playing for Coach Lefty Drizel, one of the all-time winningest coaches in the history of college basketball. He said, son, I don't need you to shoot it. I need you to pass. We got along real well.
Hey, it all worked out for you.
I enjoyed my time with Coach Drizel and Lefty and his son Chuck, Lynn Bias, Speedy Jones. A lot of fun.
Final 40 seconds of the half. Well, the three-point shooting was good early for Jacksonville State. It's cooled off. They're 4 of 11 now after that miss. Lead is 10. It's about an 8-second differential between game clock and the shot clock. This is Cowan slowing things down.
Where's the scoring going to come from? Usually Cowan will try to get a burst inside the paint and get it to Brantley, one of the shooters, out by the three-point mark.
You were talking about your days playing for Lefty in a Maryland uniform. Let's go back to when you were a 6'8" junior, just 185 pounds starting for the Terrapins.
Uncle A got the part in the middle. Look at it.
Boy, you had some good teams.
That was a lot of fun. Coach Drizel, Ben Coleman. Oh, yeah, I'm buying. Oh, man, I can't do that anymore. Big Brad Doherty, our colleague. Brad, take that. You and Michael Jordan, take that one.
5th all-time in career points with the Terrapins. Also 5th in field goals made.
Broke my heart, though. I was proud to have this one. The all-time shot attempt leader. I heard I'm number 3 or 4. I retired as. I was proud of that one.
Never saw a shot you didn't like, right?
Hey, I had Coach Drizel's blessing. He said, shoot it, young man. But, you know, Clay, it's these young guys' turn now. Melo Trimble in the Big Ten and representing themselves well. They've got 66 career wins, he and Coach Turgeon, replacing Gary Williams, who won a national championship. So a long line of great coaches at Maryland.
You were one of the greatest players ever from the Reagan administration. And speaking of Trimble, knocks it down from three-point range to make it 42-29. Trimble with his 3rd 3 of the half. And that's going to bring us to halftime. Maryland shooting 61% from the floor in the first half. They were 5 of 6 from outside the arc. Melo 3 for 3 from three-point range.
The most quiet 15 points I've seen in a while. Can they do it again in the second half?
28-12 run to end the half for Maryland, looking sharp at home in their final non-conference home game of 2016, leading Jacksonville State 42-29. Halftime with Brendan Fitzgerald coming up right after this timeout. But it really came fast and furious. There you see Maryland 5 of 6 from outside the arc. Jacksonville State, they had a burst where they hit 3 of 4 threes and then cooled off 4 of 11 for the half. They're 27th in the country in three-point shooting, so that's something to keep in mind as the second half plays out. But certainly Melo and the boys look good in the first half.
Well, they put together this kind of first half 2 days ago. And when you talk about, you know, what they got to do, the challenge is going to be in the second half. Can they do it again, duplicate the first half?
He's Adrian Branch, former Terrapin. I'm Clay Mathick. Underway here in the second period for College Park. The defense was really good for Maryland in that first half. They get a stop right away and a foul coming back against Jacksonville State. Foul trouble is going to be something to keep in mind here for the Gamecocks. That one goes against Cross. That's his 3rd. Giga also with 3.
Yeah, but this never should have happened. I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head for Coach Harper. Young man, you just missed a great shot. He's upset at that call right there.
And Harper just got a technical foul.
Really upset at that. His best post player right now. Talk about Giga. We hadn't seen the best of him yet. 7-footer. Can score, and now Cross. Boy, they're going to be a 1-2 punch in conference play.
Trimble, the 81% foul shooter, will take him. Ray Harper, first year as the head coach at Jacksonville State after spending 5 years as the head coach of the Hilltoppers in Western Kentucky.
Celebrated, played for Abe Lemons. He started his career at Texas as a ball player. He and I came out in the same year in '85, and he talked about, you know, Wayne Chapman. He said nobody ever heard of that name. That's Rex Chapman's dad. He said he's the best, the greatest coach nobody ever heard of because of his ability to get the most out of players. So that's been some of his coaching influences.
He knows it's going to be a rebuilding year. Harper, the new coach, 9 new players for the Gamecocks. Backdoor pass from Trimble intended for Tchaikovsky was knocked away. Maryland did a pretty good job limiting turnovers in that first half. They had 6.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the concentration, but you don't want slippage right here. Good shot by Cross, just missed that one. He's catching in deep post position.
Those were going for Cross early in the first half. He led all the Gamecocks with 10 in the first 20 minutes. There's a three for Justin Jackson. His first triple. He shoots 47% from out there.
Coach Turgeon says he's a guard playing power forward. He's got a high ceiling, and he coaches him hard. He stays on Jackson, and he stays on Checo. He really rides Checo because he really believes this young, the scouts are really looking at him. 7-footer, light on his feet, and can defend.
He's getting a lot out of him. And that one went in for Drumright. He had 6 in the first half. And a traveling call. Jackson gives it away. Justin Jackson played his high school ball at Findlay Prep in Nevada, leading the team in rebounding. Was
going to sign with UNLV, and when Coach Rice got fired, they opened up the recruiting.
And a foul on Tchaikovsky. That's his second. Don't forget Georgetown, Syracuse, noon Eastern on ESPN this Saturday. Part of Holiday Hoops presented by Zales. Always fun when those two get together. Over the last 88 years, they've met 91 times. We'll have it for you on Saturday. That rolls off for Drumright. Shots not falling early for the Gamecocks here in the half.
But you know, as a coach, that's a tough drive. Again, kiss it off the glass if you're going down for Maryland. But you know, as a coach, Coach Harper and his staff, I look at, are we getting good shots?
Well, you talked about it, AB, the foul trouble, especially for Cross. This is his 4th.
Yeah, too busy right now. He's going to have to quicken his feel for the game. 3 of those fouls were out of position. Right there, the charge was out of position, reaching in on the loose ball. So he'll have to mature and quicken his feel for the game. That's right now. That's reckless.
Not a lot of depth for Ray Harper either. And Cross will head to the bench. He's going to get busy on the recruiting trail. He especially wants to get more athletic on the perimeter, get more length at the guard spot. So he's going to work hard to do that through recruiting.
Well, he's got some help on the way. He's got a big signee, Cam Martin, 6'10", who was really going to, K-State was after and Tulsa was after, but he dislocated his knee. So took him, and he's a big prospect. Jason Burrell, 6'8", junior college help is on the way, averaging 22 points and 11 rebounds. His dad is Frank Burrell, who coached him. So Burnell, so they've got some help going away.
Well, Tchaikovsky asking, hey, are you sure? I didn't think that was me, but that's his 3rd. He's going to head to the bench. He's the only one for Maryland with more than 2 fouls.
When he and DeMonte Dodd, when Dodd gets healthy, you've got some post players in the Big Ten.
That's a big front.
That can grind. That's right. You sub one 7-footer for another.
Trimble back in there, hasn't missed a shot yet. He can really dish it too. Pretty dime to Even Bender. Even Bender now at 6.
Yeah, he's playing with a bruised kneecap, but he's able to get out there and give him some good minutes.
Lead is 20. Biggest lead of the game for the Terrapins.
Look at the discipline still. When you talk about the Gamecocks, that's a good driving kick. Inside the paint, you're down by 20, but you're still working. You want to get better from this game. You want to get momentum going into Murray State, who's the most celebrated team in the OVC later this month.
Yeah, Murray State, one of the favorites in the OVC again this year. So is Belmont, of course.
Oh, yeah, Coach Bird, Hall of Famer to be. He's outstanding.
Trimble kicks it back out. Anthony Cowan, the freshman, spits it to Jackson and swims off the rim.
That's a good shot. His feet were set. He's shooting over 50%, already made one.
Ooh, trying to flush it down was Drumright. And out to Terps.
Yep.
Cowan out to Herter. Can't hit the 3.
Coach said Cunningham just missed that dunk, but he called him the most athletic he's seen.
Giga,
nice
and it's swatted away by Herter.
Herter has a nose for the ball. Talked about that game-winning shot block. Has good instincts for the ball.
Nice cut. And Jackson can't get the shot to go, but he'll find himself on the line.
Driving it in. Melo Trimble making it easy. And you know what? You can never tell by his face if he's up by 20 or down by 20. He has a great ability to just let the game come to him.
Giga just picked up his fourth, and now Ray Harper is chewing on the official's ear again.
Being competitive.
Giga's got 4, Cross has got 4, so the bench is going to become an issue here in the second half for Ray.
When you talk about Coach Harper, he's aware of his team, knew that they weren't a deep team, but Cross has to help him out. He's a young guy getting his first start. He's got to be on the floor.
Well, he just got his second technical. This is a Class B technical. It's for being out of the coach's box. So that's why he's not thrown out of the game. So it's a technicality, but it is a technical foul. Trimble again at the line to take the shots. And Maryland's starting to pour it on.
Well, he's a veteran coach. He's aware that, again, they're on the road. This is their 10th road game. They've got 5 more road games before conference play. And all of this that Coach Harper is going through with his team is gearing up for their goal of making it to the OVC tournament this season.
Just one foul shot. It went for Trimble. Now Jackson to take his charity shots. There's the coach's box. That white line, you can't go beyond that white line that comes out away from the sideline.
Talking about right there. And you can step a foot on the floor as well, so you can come almost 2 feet on the floor. But I mean, come on. Would they call it on Coach K? That's all I want to know. Clay, would they call it on Coach K?
Probably not. Look at the free throw numbers. Maryland dominated. Jacksonville State has 2 free throw attempts in this game. The three-pointer goes.
Well, Durham, their leading scorer, just right there, is sitting there, and he doesn't get but 1 free throw a game. So they don't get a lot of free throws.
Second 3 for Durham. That's one way Jacksonville State can climb back in this one with the outside shot. 42% three-point shooting group. Jared Nickens, his first playing time of this ballgame. Nickens struggling from 3, he missed that 2. Driving and finishing, Tyreek Edwards, the walk-on freshman who got the start tonight with his first basket.
You want to keep an eye on the runs because Maryland was up by 20. The last game they played, there was slippage when they went to the bench. Coach Turgeon is going to keep a close eye on the production of his bench players.
And a foul against Brantley. He'll shoot when we come back. 53-38 Maryland. Wesleyan. And it's a turnaround job now for Ray.
And look at that.
But he's got the pedigree to get it done.
Look at that. You talk about winning. And what he talked about was his coaching influences, that we talked about Mike Polio, who was one of his coaches, organized better than anyone. He's drawn from all of these guys. His dad, who said, finish what you start. Coach Chapman, Rex Chapman's dad. So he is the real deal. And they're in basketball training as well, almost like basketball detox, learning how to play.
And the Ohio Valley Conference is a tough league, very competitive.
I've had the privilege of calling a lot of games there.
They're picked to finish last in the East Division of the Ohio Valley, but yeah, you get the feeling watching them tonight, their character, they could probably outperform that. Nice corner jumper.
Tucker
goes down for Tucker.
Well, you know what? 8 out of 12 go to the conference play, and it's a true conference tournament, and it's like a true round robin. You get a chance to play home and home. So you're going to earn your stripes in the OVC. Got to be mentally tough, physically tough, and got to be prepared because they're well scouted and coached teams.
Jared Nickens, deep 3. Doesn't go for Jalen Brantley. Again, the reserves getting some work here for Maryland. Transition, that 3 ball goes up over the top of the rim. Now play. It's been long pre-conference season for Jacksonville State. 15 of the first 16 games on the road or neutral site. Ray Harper's new staff was burdened with filling dates on the schedule when he got hired, and this is the best they could do. They had to fill a lot of dates on the road.
Yeah, new staff, new players, a lot of newcomers coming. That looked like Hawaii. That's how Hawaii usually, what is this, Alabama or Hawaii? Make up your mind, man, where they're traveling from.
Hey, like I said, it's going to build some character. It's going to help them in the Ohio Valley.
I like everything about this hire with Coach Harper running the show. He has a champion's pedigree. He knows the game and he knows people. It's a good time in his life where he's had success and he wants to teach these young guys. And then he's got some new players that we talked about coming in. Cam Martin, his 6'10" signing, is going to be coming in. Jason Burnell is going to be coming in. Also, they have Maurice Dunlap, JUCO player, 6'2" guard who was playing at Mississippi State. So they've got help on the way.
57-41. There's Tucker. His move finishes with the left hand.
And there's still a lot of time in this game. Jacksonville State is a three-point shooting team. So right now, as the differential is 14 points, that's only 5 3-point baskets. They're only 5 baskets down. So you're seeing Melo Trimble in here. You're seeing Cowan still in. Still got a lot of basketball left in this game.
L.G. Gill, transfer from Duquesne, misses that jump shot from the wing. Still finding his role at Maryland.
Yeah, he was a three-point shooter at Duquesne. Now they want him close to the basket without fouling.
Vertus Giga playing with 4 fouls, gets a trip to the line, was hoping to finish that, make it a 3-point play. Giga, 64% foul shooter. You got Cross with 4, Giga with 4, Cunningham with 3 personal fouls.
And a lot of them have been cheap for these fouls on the road. You want your guys in the game playing 32, 34 minutes, impacting the paint.
Just the foul statistics, the foul shot statistics, I should
say. The differential.
It's a recipe for pulling an upset, getting to the foul line, and it just hasn't happened tonight for Jacksonville State.
Well, again, look at this. It's 13 minutes left. They're only down by 12. If you're a three-point shooting team, which they are, they shoot an excellent three-point percentage. You talk about a team that shoots 42%.
Wow. Nice block by Cunningham.
Yeah, they can make a run in a hurry.
That 3 didn't go. Drumright couldn't hit it. Oh, nice play inside. Getting it to go is Edwards. He's got 4 now.
How about the young walk-on? Coach Harper said, you know what? We did not have him in the rotation, but he's earned a spot. He's taken a spot.
Turgeon wants a timeout as Jacksonville State closes to within 10. It's a 14-4 run for the Gamecocks. The defense on one end and the offense on the other. Still a lot of game left. Jacksonville State making it interesting. In Branch here with 12:33 to go. There's Melo Trimble.
Adjective behind there, man. Terrapin, something.
Terrapin great. Terrapin star.
I'm 53. I can
Terrapin
use
old
the
man. Trimble hasn't taken a shot here in the second half. He's 5 for 5, though. He's got 15 points. What are his draft prospects?
You know, if he goes in the second round, he's a first-round talent because of his ability to break down a defense and get inside the lane, a lot like Chris Paul under control. But if he went in the second round, he's a steal right off the bat. He's a first-round talent, but if he goes second round, that's a steal.
Some that's thought he might even maybe test the waters last year, but came back.
Well, I'm happy that he's coming back. He's going up the career charts and assists and three-point shooting and points. He's represented, and then listen to this. Remember, there were 4 guys that transferred when he first came in. So he and Coach Turgeon now have had 66 wins together with only 15 losses.
Cunningham picked up that last foul for Jacksonville State. He's got 4 now, too. So Cunningham, Giga, and Cross all playing with 4. Lead is 12 for Maryland. Just about 12 minutes to go in this one. Greg Tucker now on the wing, rises for 3. Bad shot. And plucking the rebound is Brantley.
That's what Coach Harper, you just talked about that careless shot. Move the ball around a little more, try to get inside the free throw line. They can hit free throws, hadn't been there a lot.
Jackson's got a pretty shot from the corner, doesn't get that one to go. The stick back by Gill, and he draws the contact. LG Gill going to the line.
You talk about this young man.
That's the 5th on Giga, he's done. And we got a timeout on the floor. Returning stars, Nigel Hayes, he's a potential Big Ten player of the year. Thomas Bryant at Indiana, he's also in that conversation. Miles Bridges, one of the stars at Michigan State, talking about he's going to be a potential newcomer of the year.
He's my CTV. He's like a Charles Barkley, explosive Blake Griffin, explosive power forward.
Tom Izzo calls him a man-child.
That's polite.
Maryland haven't had any field goals in the last 6 minutes, but been picking up points here and there at the line. The lead's a dozen. Maryland 10-1. Looking forward to that first conference game against Illinois later this month. There's a foul against Maryland.
The Gamecocks are only one run away from making this interesting and putting pressure on Maryland. Now think about this. Maryland controlled the first half against St. Peter's. They controlled the first half again in this game. But they've been allowing this visiting experienced team to hang around. And when you have three-point shooters like Greg Tucker at the free throw line, you don't want to give them any open opportunities to make a run at you.
Now some of the starters are going to come back in. Tchaikovsky's back in. Herter comes back in. It's been a quiet night for the freshman Kevin Herter.
You hadn't scored yet. He's been part of that trio with Cowan and Jackson that's averaging nearly 30 points a game. They have stepped up in this young season and made a statement for themselves heading into conference play.
Now Cowan doesn't have a point here in the second half, and Jackson just one field goal in the second half. It's been a subdued night for that trio. Herter does get the rebound there.
It's like a running back that leans forward. Don't get but 2 or 3 yards, but he's moving the power forward. And that's what's happening with these young guys. They're work in progress, but they still move forward by getting wins.
Now, it's not entirely fair to look at Herter's night only in points. He's got 4 rebounds, few assists. Oh, there's a good pass inside, and Tchaikovsky with the flush.
A thing of beauty, and for Checo to finish off that possession by catching it in traffic. That's the difference with he and DeMonte Dodd. One is really offensive-minded, another is defensive-minded.
Good defense there. Tchaikovsky with the steal, and he's fouled coming back up the floor.
Watch this play right here, whipping it down, under control, bang! Catching it in traffic, and then Checo. I love a 7-footer that can dunk on the vertical. Good hands in traffic, and then he pays it off. He's got the eye of some scouts because he's long and he can defend the pick and roll, which is so prevalent in the NBA.
Tchaikovsky in double figures. He had 16 against Kansas State, 16 against Howard.
There's in double figures. 11 points. And he doesn't play but 17 minutes a game, so he set the bar high for himself. Can he do it consistently? He's having a good night so far.
And a foul out high on Cowan. The biggest thing on Tchaikovsky for Maryland is can they keep him healthy? He's had some health issues here in the early season. Missed the first 4 games with a sprained foot. He's had a tender ankle here the last few days. He's going to be a big impact for them.
Well, those big guys usually keep an eye on the feet. Remember Rick Smith, 7'4", he's a 7-footer. So keep an eye on the feet and the back.
Oh, now he's swinging his elbows cross. Jakara Cross just picked up his 5th, the 2nd Gamecock to foul out. And as good as Cross was in the first half, very quiet here in the second half. He leaves with 10 points, all in the first 20 minutes.
When Coach Harper shows him this film, it's another foul. It's almost a brush screen, so just stay there. You don't have to go head hunting with him. He's had 4 fouls in this game. He fouled out, but he's had 4 fouls that never should have happened. It's like you're at the scene of the crime. Right. You don't need to be there.
10th player to foul out this season for Jacksonville State. And you and I were talking with Ray Harper. He said that's going to be a huge key for us, is to keep the fouls to a minimum to have any chance against Maryland tonight.
Well, you saw when he was on the floor, he had deep post position, effective. Well, it looked like that wasn't much there. I was looking for the feet as well. Wasn't much there. But he's shown that when he gets deep post position, he can score in the paint. So now he's had 10 points against Maryland on the road. That'll be good in conference play. The front line in the OVC is not as big as the Terps are tonight.
Now after Monday Night Football at SportsCenter at night with Scott Van Pelt, we'll have a complete breakdown of the Ravens and the Patriots, plus his one big thing, bad beats, and the best thing we saw today. Mr. Terrapin himself, Scott Van Pelt, SportsCenter at night after Ravens Patriots on ESPN.
Scott was 13 when I was a sophomore at the University of Maryland, and we worked in the same furniture store. He was a big 6'4", quiet guy, and all of a sudden he said, "You remember me?" Years later, and he's Scott Van Pelt.
He was 13 at the time?
He was about 13 or 14. He was a young guy. I was at the University of Maryland. I was a star. and he was.
And now he's the big cat.
And he was like Bruce Wayne. Now all of a sudden, he got jokes.
Oh, he's doing great things.
Oh, go Terps, go. Fear the turtle.
You know, he might work some highlights into this one tonight.
Oh, he's always keeping the pulse on Maryland. Maryland has a lot of pride. 3 fouls on Mello Trimble.
He's got 18 points tonight. Hasn't missed a shot yet. 5 for 5 from the field. 5 for 5 at the line. Oh, what a pick by Herter. But then he gives it right back to Cunningham. Freshman mistake.
Best thing about freshmen is when they become sophomores.
And Tucker is stripped going into the paint.
Now, right now, there's no flow to this game. Maryland has not been able to get that 20-point lead again. And same thing we said at the 10-minute mark, 11-minute mark. You don't want Jacksonville State to hang around because they can make shots, especially at the 3-point line.
Greg Tucker, he's their best free throw shooter. But he's 1 for 3 in this game. He's 90% at the line coming in.
He's got to plug in. Didn't start in this game, coming off the bench. They need his experience. He's an upperclassman, a senior.
Ray Harper sitting a couple of guys. Tucker and Cunningham did not start this game, trying to send a message to some of his veterans.
Well, Harper wants to see players like himself. He was like the horse no one bet on, growing up in a small town in Kentucky.
Tchaikovsky with a two-hand plunge. Wiley with the assist.
Coach Turgeon said we don't want Wiley waiting around for his offense to come. Make plays, be a willing defender, a willing passer. That'll give him some confidence.
Wiley missed last year with a knee injury. Looking healthy now, and then back on the other end.
Cunningham.
Drum right. Cunningham with the two-hand stuff.
Best athlete on the floor.
And Wiley knocking it down. Timeout with 9:02 to go. As Jacksonville calls a timeout. Lead is 19.
The game is an emotional game. You saw that pass right there by Wiley. The first possession led to a dunk. And then he came down. He's been struggling with his offense. Nothing to write home about at the three-point line, 28% from the field. But because he just caught it instinctively and shot it instinctively, you saw him playing well. That's what Coach Turgeon wants from this young man. When he comes into the game, he wants him to be a game changer.
7 of 12 tonight, 31% before the game. They were taking too many and not hitting enough. But Turgeon told you and I today, he said, I'm convinced we're going to be just fine outside the arc. Our three-point shooters are going to come around. That is going to be one of our strengths, especially during the conference year.
And it started from defense. He's a defensive-minded coach. He got cut his teeth under Roy Williams. And so with these guys, the Larry Browns, the Roy Williams, the Kansas, the North Carolina, it's fundamental basketball.
Cunningham trying to post up. Drumright looking for him. Now Drumright rolls, floats it up there. Doesn't go. Tchaikovsky goes up for the rebound. That's a foul. It's on Tchaikovsky. That's 4 on him.
Stayed him at the line.
Andre Statham averages about 12 minutes per game. A 66% free throw shooter. These are big foul attempts. He'll get the bonus.
From Cape Girardeau, Missouri. You ever heard of Cape Girardeau?
Yeah, down there in the boot heel.
I've been there. I spoke at his school this past year. Big school, about 2,000 students.
Were they listening?
I had jokes. Stand up, speak up, and shut up.
Well, Statham gets 1 of 2. Lead is 18. Ain't getting late. 8.5 to go.
This is about the most uncomfortable lead for Coach Turgeon because his team imploded in the second half and only won by 3. Doing almost the same thing. You have to continue to build from 18 points. See if you can get to 20, 21 points.
Wow, long 3, and it goes down for Cowan. His second triple of the night.
Learning on the job. He's their leading assist man, taking pressure off of Melo Trimble. You see Melo's not in the game right now. Coach Turgeon even rests him in practice.
Attacking as Edwards can't finish. It's a 21-point lead, biggest lead of the night for Maryland. For some reason, it doesn't feel that big.
Exactly, because it's been an uneven performance. Got to knock down that shot. Strong drive.
Now Wiley comes up empty. Now in transition quickly, Tyreek Edwards. And he lost it. It's off him. Maryland's got it with 7:43 to go when we come back.
Cowan knocking down the shot, expanding his game. Nice shot by the freshman.
December 27th in the Big Ten opener. What do you think the prospects are for Maryland this year in the league?
Middle of the pack so far until they continue to establish the freshmen. Now you talk about Purdue with that huge front line that they have. Outstanding. You talk about Indiana that can drop 90 on you. Very good. Michigan State is always relevant in conference time. So for Maryland, there's no pressure on them. I think they can still be a tournament team. Question's going to be, I think one of the big storylines outside of Maryland and their youth is Northwestern. Can they finally make it to the tournament like Harvard did many years ago?
I think this might be the year Chris Collins gets those guys onto the big dance. Here's the AP Top 10, which came out today.
Talk about UCLA, boy, and Lonzo Ball. This man is, he can go. He's Jason Kidd.
Indiana, the own representative from the Big Ten at number 9. Wisconsin returning 99% of its minutes from the Sweet 16 team last year, so they're going to be good as well.
And their home record, they win 98% of the time at home. So when you go to Wisconsin, you've got a problem. You better make some shots and hit your free throws.
Cowan's going to leave. Cowan with a quiet double-figure night. It does. The freshmen continue to be a developing story for the Terrapins as the Big Ten season looms.
Well, there's a lot of responsibility. This is a major program. You're on national television. You can't hide. Remember what John Calipari said about 3 or 4 years ago when Kentucky was idling. He said, listen, we can't hide you at Kentucky. This is the winningest program in the history of basketball. And that's what happens when you're at a major program. Washington, D.C., one of the biggest media markets in America.
Melo Trimble, wow, first miss for him tonight. Had been 5 for 5 and perfect from outside the arc as well. 3 for 3, but misses that one. Melo Trimble, his 10th game in double figures.
He's a star. And the wonderful thing about this young man is he's not jacking shots, trying to get his draft status up, trying to get his numbers because he's on the Naismith Hall of Fame watch, All-American candidate. He's allowing the game to come to him.
Standing with 4 points now for Jacksonville State. Yvonne Bender with that foul for the Terps.
I like what I see in Statham. He's been to the free throw line, and he shoots a good free throw. Freshman.
You were talking about Trimble feeling no pressure this year, very much at peace with his role on this team.
And that's character, because I remember my senior year, and I was on that list and all of that, coming off honorable mention All-American. And you just got to face the giant that every game you've got to live in the moment and go out and play. So far, he's done that.
Bender, a nice pass to Jackson, but then Jackson is intercepted. Back the other way, drum right.
If this was high school, Maryland would be the best high school 32-minute team in the country. Right now, it's been a little slippage.
Exception of Trimble. Jackson gets some reserves in there.
I'm right. Too much dribbling.
Gets hammed off, but then finds a nice outlet to Cunningham.
Maryland has not been able. They knocked down a shot, and of course Jacksonville State has helped them out, but are they 20 points better right now? I think that because of the front line of Jacksonville State is out, you can see some slippage in Maryland where they're not dominating the second half consistently.
Trimble buries another three. It's his third outside three. Check that fourth. He's 4 of 5 from out there.
Imagine how good he's going to be at the next level when all he has to do is play fast and dish it and get to the free throw line.
All right, Herter with another block.
Nice pass.
No look. Jackson to Bender. And the lead back to 20.
Excellent job by Jackson. Coach Turgeon saying he's a guard that's playing a power forward. Very good pocket pass.
And that's off the foot of Bender. Yvonne Bender can't believe it.
Herter with the instincts, quickness, going up. Coach Turgeon recruited him as a guard. Now he's 6'7" and a small forward. And then Jackson being unselfish to Bender.
And now that call was overturned. It is actually going to be the Terrapins' ball, and that was the right call. Eads, Gaffney, and Green got together to make it right.
Yeah. Talk about Yvonne Bender, his brother. Bender is a 7'1" first-round draft pick for Phoenix Suns. I see him a lot. This young man's got a chance. Tony Kukoc type of player.
Stripped is Wiley. He'll shoot. Bender's made a few starts this season. He's going to have a big role for Maryland this year as we go under 5 minutes.
He's got some solid stats. Plays 13 minutes a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds, 3 points. But also he's averaging assists a game, so he's not a ball stopper. The ball moves when it's in his hands.
Well, if that foul was on Cunningham, that's his 5th. No, it's on Statham. That's his 1st. So Cunningham gets a reprieve here. Already 2 players have fouled out, Giga and Cross.
If you were to ask me what Jacksonville State can take from this game, they got a quick turnaround. They play Howard, 7 miles away from Howard University in Washington, D.C., 7 miles away from Maryland. It's going to be a quick turnaround for them. They've got a low post scorer in Cross who came out. Giga, a 7-footer that can score on the low block. And then Drumright is one of their best shooters. What we haven't seen is their leading scorer in this game get going consistently. When you talk about Eric Durham.
Just 6 for Durham tonight. They have 4 more road games before finally going home January 5th against Murray State. We said it before, one of the favorites in the OVC, so it's been a long, long non-conference season for Jacksonville State, and it's not over yet.
Traveling season, long trip.
Yes.
5 more games on the road, then you get home.
Rises up, he's fouled, he will shoot.
Well, the ball stopped moving in his last few possessions, but Melo Trimble is an All-American player that can get you a possession with the shot clock going down. He can give you peace. He can be mellow in the chaos, pun intended.
6 for 7 from the field, 5 for 5 at the line. Junior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Yeah, and down by my neighborhood. I said, man, why didn't you go to DeMatha? He said there was too many players at DeMatha. DeMatha is 3 miles from the University of
Something
Maryland.
tells me he would have found a way to stand out.
Hey, man, listen, I'm trying to get them all. Markel Fultz, that was at DeMatha, now way out in Washington. I'm trying to get them all. DeMatha in Maryland, let's go.
Largest lead for the Terrapins. It's now 24. They're on a 9-0 run, 4:20 to go. The second half letdown against St. Peter's on Saturday for Maryland. We haven't seen that tonight.
Yeah, they were able to make some stops. But again, Jacksonville State helped them out. They got in foul trouble. They were getting some miscues with turnovers. So I would cut this in half. That was a better second half. But Jacksonville State helped them out as well by shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers.
Maryland shooting 50% here in the second half, 56% for the game. It hasn't been a bad shooting night for Jacksonville State. The three-point shooting has been good in bursts. It hasn't been the dynamic aspect of their game tonight like it has been in other games this year.
But you look at Statham right here at the free throw line. This young man is opening some eyes. He's able to get rebounds in traffic, get to the free throw line. So he and Cross, to go along with Giga, you got a nice, respectable front line heading into conference play.
Fifth rebound for Herter as we go under 4 minutes. This is Kevin Herter. Dishes it off. Bender is able to stop his momentum and not travel, and then a nice hook shot with the right hand.
They're going to need a big post presence because in conference play, you've got big bodies that bang on you. And on the road, they won't call a lot of bellying up, chest up. They'll let them play.
Bender now at 10. He's the fifth Terp in double figures. 84-59 Maryland, poised to go to 11-1. Hopping into the lane, finishing off the window, Ashton Spears, the freshman with his first bucket.
Look at Maryland, 14 assists on 24 field goals. And the ball was moving. It wasn't sticking. Last year, Coach was saying, I won't say his name, Robert Carter. He said the ball stuck a lot.
Occasionally at sticky fingers. It's back to a pass. Jackson unable to finish, out of bounds with 3:02 to go. Von Bender, he's got 10 now.
Played them in the summertime. Never played Maryland Georgetown.
Not that you were ducking them.
Nah, we had a problem with that front line. Big Patrick Ewing, that would have been a problem. Everybody else would have been a fair fight. Reggie Williams, David Wingate, that would have been a great game.
That was a good win for Maryland back in November.
Two historic programs.
Getting votes for the top 25. The poll came out today. There's Christian Cunningham with 2 more. But it's been a good night. 5 players in double figures for Maryland. 9 more in double-digit minutes tonight for the Terrapins. So a lot of guys getting a lot of floor time. LG Gill sealed off inside. It comes out to Wiley, who penetrates and scores. It's a good-looking move.
Deion Wiley has been getting a lot of broken plays and making baskets. So for him, he hadn't been waiting around at that three-point shot. He's been active. We talked about earlier where University of Maryland going into conference play hasn't played against a nationally ranked team. Right here on this drive. Go up. You think that Gill would go on the other side away from the shot blocker. Cunningham, an excellent athlete, but Wiley right there finishing it up. And we talked about them not going against a nationally ranked team. However, where Michigan State went against a lot of nationally ranked teams, because they were so young, the veteran coach in Turgeon wanted to give them games like this to get them some experience.
Just over 2 minutes to go.
Cunningham knocking down a heck of an athlete. Coach Harper is so excited about this young man's potential. Didn't start, wanted to light a fire underneath him, but he's responded tonight.
There's Jared Nickens. Did not play in the first half. His three-point shooting has been a little off. From the wing, Wiley. Wow, he gets the 3. He's got 13 now. 6 players in double figures for Maryland.
And Coach Turgeon and his staff, Bino Cook, they are so excited about this young man putting in the work and seeing some positive results.
Off the iron. Backside rebound. Nice block by Wiley. Boys putting together some good minutes here in the second half.
Talk about coaching staff, Cliff Warren and Bino Ransom, Destin Clark. These guys spend a lot of time with him because you're a father figure, you're a coach, you're a counselor. And so for them to get this positive results, they started to get some separation in this.
Wiley comes out averaging 4 points per game. He's got 13.
Also entering for Jacksonville State, number 10 is Sean Jones.
It's been Jacksonville State's night. Brantley they didn't need him tonight to be that effective.
No, he didn't have any points at halftime. He's without a field goal here tonight. Like I said, so many other players have stepped up. 89 points on the board for a team that averages 74. From the wing, Nickens got the 3. He'd been struggling from out there. 6 for 32 coming into the night.
Maryland, going into conference play, has cracked the code. If they start and trust the process defensively and let their offense come because they're playing good defense, harassing the ball, limiting opponents to one shot and done, that'll take pressure off of their offense.
9 players with points now for Maryland.
Nice move.
Nickens will clear it. Half minute to go here in College Park. Off the turnover, Spears got it.
Ashton Spears.
They want Andrew Terrell to shoot it. And time is going to come to an end. 92-66. Maryland is out to an 11-1 start.
Melo Trimble did what he had to do, 6 for 7 in under 30 minutes a game and only 2 turnovers. He led the way.
23 points for Trimble, his 10th game in double figures in the dozen games the team has played so far. 9 players get in the scoring column. They shot it well all night. Finished 57% from the field, 11 of 17 from 3. That